back to the podcast, my friend. Always good to see you.
Hey, it's good to see you, Matt.
This is awesome. Our paths keep crossing. It was funny. I was just showing you this book, the Transition Playbook for Athletes, where both you and I contributed to this book, but I didn't know you contributed to the book. So I'm flipping through, looking for my section, and there's Ruben Gonzalez again. Like, you're all over the place.
I tell you, we live about 50 miles away from each other, and we only see each other on podcasts or in whatever book we happen to be in. It's crazy.
Exactly. At the most random times. But no, so excited to have you here. And obviously, you're one of our featured speakers at the Shift Experience coming up on May 15th and 16th. And so excited to have you kind of own the stage again, if you will, because I know you own it everywhere you go.
Oh, man. I still remember the last one we did. And I guess it was the first time I saw you speak. And I was so impressed because you're so powerful and you speak from the heart, which is really rare. A lot of people, most of the guys are canned speeches, which I hate. And you've got great stories, right? We're real similar style. So I guess that's why I liked it.
No, I love it, man. Yeah, and I'm excited to see you again. I remember the first time that you spoke at one of my events, you were I had multiple people comment they've never taken so many notes in their lives. So that's always a good sign, right? All the nuggets and takeaways. So, it's coming again. It's coming again here at the Shift Experience. And I want to dive in a couple of questions. You and I was very fortunate to have had you on the podcast before, and I want to dive into kind of some different questions in preparation for this event and give people some insight into you and your background. And, out of the gate, I have to ask, what gets you so, excited and fired up to do what you do now, like traveling the world, speaking and inspiring people and leaving this, like, why do you get so fired up? What gets you excited?
You know what? Unlike a lot of speakers, I don't live to speak, okay? If I never did another speaking engagement in my life, I'd be totally fine with that. Speaking is my business that pays for my lifestyle, and it pays for the stuff that really gets me fired up. That said, when I walk up on stage, I'm an introvert, believe it or not. Nobody believes this, but when I get to talking about personal development or getting to tell people my story, to try to give them a shake and trying to get them to believe more in themselves, I just get fired up. I don't know what happens. It's like Clark Kent turns into Superman for an hour. But
here it comes, like,
step back down and I'm back to Clark Kent, But first thing in the morning, I write down my goal, right? And it doesn't have to be a dissertation. I just write BEIJING 2022 and boom, my day has focus now. And so now I'm making those phone calls where I'm doing that marketing and everything that it takes to get more speaking engagements, which pay for this stuff, right? I mean, I sponsor Ruben. And
right.
So my goals, my personal goals, fire me up so that I can be a better business person.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know much about Ruben's story, I mean, 4 different Olympics in 4 different decades. I joke with him that, man, he should have stopped retiring and coming back out of retirement. He's just trying to kind of pump up the story. But no, 4 different Olympics in 4 different decades. Now going for your 5th in BEIJING 2022, which is incredible, right? And I look at the sport of luge, and that seems like an extremely scary sport. I can't picture myself going 90 miles an hour down an icy track, right? And so what you've done, even to get to that first Olympics, let alone continue to do that, and I know you're going to pull off the 5th Olympics as well. I know it already. That's the stuff that gets you fired up, of like these experiences, like getting outside of yourself and doing these comfort zones. So it's an incredible story that you're going to share during the Shift Experience, but, take me through, like, I don't know, your love for luge. Like, where does it come from? Like going for this next Olympics, where does the passion, the motivation, like, to do these things on a daily basis, like, where does it come from for you?
Matt, every Olympics has had a different motivation. The first one is I just want to be one of the guys, right? I was always the last kid picked for PE all my life. I got a lot of heart, but no body. And so I always put the Olympians up on a pedestal, and I just want to be one of the guys. It was never about the medals for me. I just want to be in the club, right? Yes. The second one was different. It was just to try to get the Germans to talk to me because they totally dissed me. I hadn't earned their respect yet, right?
Yep.
And so I hadn't paid the price that they had paid to make it to their team because they've got so much depth, right?
Yes.
And so it wasn't until after about 2 years after my first Olympics, they finally started warming up. And maybe we'll get into that because that's all about commitment. Maybe we'll get into that in the shift experience.
Yes.
And then I quit for 5 or 6 years. And then my coach talked me into coming back. And I brought my brother into the sport, and we both made it. And so that was kind of like family and making that was a motivation. And then I quit again for about 6 or 7 years. I'm like a Brett Favre of luge, man.
Right.
but I get bored. After about 7 years, I get really bored, and I need to challenge myself. It's like I go crazy. And it's a different 7-year itch for most guys.
Right. Right.
So I started training again, and I made Vancouver, and I was 47 there. And then another 6 or 7 years went by. And then last year I went back just to test it, right? I mean, I was 55 last year. I wanted to see if my neck could even handle 6 Gs. And I passed the test, and I made I competed in a World Cup race. And the coaches said, even though it used to be the top 50 got to go, and then it was the top 40 got to go. Top 40 got to go to the Olympics.
Yep.
Now Beijing's going to be top 35. I've never been in the top 35 in the world. But the coaches say, you get yourself a new sled, which I did, and you follow this program, you got a shot. That's all. I don't care if you got a shot means 5% or 10% chance or whatever. I don't even want to know. But that's all I need to hear. If it's possible, hey, I'll go for it. And you know what? Coming back from Calgary last year after getting back into it and realizing that I was better than ever, actually, I'm mentally stronger than I used to be. I'm not so scared. Going after a big dream gave my whole life so much purpose and focus, and it fired me up, right? It's like I need it. It's like a vitamin B12 shot all over the place.
Yes.
And I'm more fired up, and I got more stuff that I can talk about on stage, because I was kind of getting tired of talking about the same old stuff.
Yes.
So a big dream will, it's like raising tide rises all the ships, right? Same thing. If you focus, if your goal is to lose 10 pounds and you do whatever it takes to lose it, that is just going to put focus. It's going to overflow into other parts of your life. Yes. So it's a good thing.
Well, I love that too, because what you said earlier about you wake up every day and the first thing you do is focus on what is that thing, right? And what are the small things that are going to get you towards that goal? And reconnecting with that on a frequent basis, I think, is a massive part of it. Because at least in the past, I've been like, oh, I've got this dream, but this is where I want to be. And then I don't think about it for like a month.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, here comes that dream again.
I don't believe that. I don't believe you are. No, that's not you.
That was the old Matt. The old Matt.
Oh, that's old Matt. Okay.
That's old Matt.
Yeah, 0.0. You're like Matt 3.0 now.
Exactly. That was miserable Matt sitting in corporate America.
There you go.
Happy with life. That was that Matt.
Okay.
But I think that's a huge piece of it. The who's one person, like in your Olympic journey or in your business career, who's one person who's had like a massive influence on you, who's led you to the point you're at today? Loaded question. Can only be one.
Yeah. Well, gosh. When I got started speaking, and I kind of fell into this business. I was a copier salesman in Houston, and right before the Salt Lake City Olympics, 2002, this little kid in my neighborhood, a little 5th grader, he says, "Hey, Ruben, when you come back from the Olympics, will you be my show and tell project in school?" And I thought, sure, why not, right? And I pictured show and tell, when I was a kid, like in the Iron Age,
Right.
It was, 20 kids in a classroom. Everybody showed something off for 5 minutes, and it was just something to get the kids to do some public speaking, basically.
Yes.
And to come out of their shell. And so I thought, I'll be in out of there in 5 minutes. So I thought, great, I'm finally going to win a gold medal at something, right? I'm going to kill. No prisoners. I mean, I was pumped up. I took the sled, the helmet, the Olympic torch, because I was the torchbearer. And I'm so excited. I go to the school. The principal takes me to the auditorium. It's actually the cafeteria. All the kids are sitting on the floor, 200 of them. He says, "You got 45 minutes, have at them." And I thought I was going to die, okay? I mean, I never took a speech class in my life. Why would I? And so that door looked so good. And I said a little prayer. I actually said, "God, what do I do now?" And what I felt I needed to do was just tell them your story and give them some pointers to help them reach their goals and dreams. And I did. And afterwards, the principal gets all excited. He says, man, you need to do this for a living. You know, you got a gift. He's so in my face that he got me thinking about it, right? And for the next 3 days, I thought, you know, it was actually kind of fun, you know, and maybe I can inspire some people to really go for it in life. It sure beats, you know, knocking on doors in downtown Houston trying to, you know, sell a copier.
Yes.
So I quit my job 3 days later. And I don't recommend this approach, okay? But
right.
That's what I did. It's my story.
That's right.
I figured if I can sell a copier, I can sell a Ruben too. And I just started calling schools. 3 months later, I'm on food stamps, okay? I'm good on stage, but I don't know how to build a business. I have no clue. And I realized, my gosh, I tell everybody to follow a coach or a mentor, somebody that's actually done what they want to do. I'm not even taking my own advice. And so I found a guy in Houston that's a very successful speaker, and he agreed to be my mentor, and Jim Jacobus. And he was actually #1 Xerox salesman in the whole United States, okay? So, you know, he's a salesman. Because see, being in the speaking business, I'm not a speaker, okay? If I think I'm in the speaking business, I'm gonna be broke. I'm in the marketing Ruben speaking services business, okay?
Yes.
Right? The speaking is just delivering the product. That's the easy part. You got to sell it first, right? But Jim kind of changed my you know, he showed me the ropes, right? First thing he said was, man, I don't care if you're a 10-time Olympian, unless you write a book, no one's going to take you seriously, because you know, author is considered the authority of his subject. He wrote the book on it, and I told him, man, I made C's in English. I can't write a book. And he says, you got a great story. Just write it down. We had some A students. They clean it up for you. That's just grammar. I thought, oh my gosh, I didn't think about that. And he said, no, you know, that's called editing. So shut up and sit down. I mean, this guy's beating me on the head, but he's showing me the ropes. Yep. And I remember the first time we met, I told you the same thing, because that impacted my business so much that I wanted to make sure that you got it too.
Yep.
There it is.
Here's the result.
Yeah, see, so we wrote a book together. See, he took action, guys. Look, I meet with a new speaker probably 3 or 4 times a year. You know, somebody will find me and we have coffee at Serrano's, and we have the talk, right? And you're one of only 2 that's actually done it out of about 40 or 50 over the years. So yeah, Matt is, guys, when you come to Matt's event, you're learning from somebody that's actually been there, right? Somebody's been in the trenches. It's not a theorist, because there's so many theorists up there. I tell people, look, it's better to have your mentor be a high school dropout that actually did what you're trying to do than a PhD that knows all the theory but didn't do it, okay? So.
Yep. So true. No, I'm so thankful I actually took that advice and did it. And I've got another copy up here that's the Polish translation.
The Polish, yeah. We actually got it translated to Polish. I mean, how cool was that?
Yeah. Still makes me chuckle to this day, man. How I could have never seen that one coming. There's a lot of other.
Right. We were just talking about, you know, we if you've never been in a podcast before, when you first come on, you just chat, right? We're friends. And then we say, okay, we're going to get to business. We're going to, you know, but when we're chatting, what did I ask you? When are you going to write your next book, right?
Very true. Very true.
and because you got to write, and he's got another book. He's just waiting.
My draft is ready.
And pow, right?
Yep.
But let me know when it's done. We'll get that one translated to Polish too.
That's done. I love it. I love it. Let me ask you this. So, as part of the shift experience, we're focusing on 4 areas, right? So we're talking our brain, so kind of our mindset, right? We call them our 4 Bs. So our brain, the mindset piece of things.
Brain.
We're talking we're talking body, which is nutrition, fitness, recovery, all that sort of stuff, right? We're talking business as our 3rd B, which is all about like, how do we grow our career? How do we grow our business? Get to that next level there, right? And then the final B is bond. So it's about relationships, who we surround ourselves with, right? And so those are our 4 Bs that we're going to talk about. And people are going to, you're going to sprinkle in all 4 of those, frankly. I know just from hearing you before. And but as you hear kind of like the brain, the body, the business, the bond, and relationships, is there one of those that like sticks out to you where you've like had a struggle in one of those areas, and what was that struggle, and how did you kind of push through that and overcome that one?
Well, the business, I just told you how I was struggling. I'm top of the world at the Olympics in February at Salt Lake City Olympics.
Yep.
And I come back and the principal tells me you need to do this. I quit my job. We're $50,000 in credit card debt and have a 1-year-old daughter, and I'm a sole breadwinner. So my wife's a full-time mom. And I decided just to quit my job. Overnight, we got no income and no health insurance. She wanted to kill me, okay? I mean, it was like a really bad luge crash. And
yes.
so, but I believed I could do it, right? But, it wasn't until about 3 months later. Now we're on food stamps, three months behind our house payment, that close from losing our house, shot our credit. That's when it's like, that's what I needed to realize, wow, I need a coach, right? So maybe that was a big struggle, man. But when you mentioned brain, it's funny that I know you had to do a B. Mind wouldn't work, so that's
right,
good, right? But whenever you're learning something new, you have to stay in the game long enough to give yourself time to learn the skills. Everything's hard at the beginning because you don't have any skills, and so you have to give yourself time. And then once you do learn those skills, then you use those skills to reach the dream. And this takes time, guys. It's not overnight. And so when I learned how to, when we moved here, I'd skied a little bit, but hardly any. I don't even like skiing. Mm-hmm. And when we came out here, I always go to eBay and I buy Olympic memorabilia. I mean, I can't control myself. And I found this beautiful snowboard that had the I don't know, I think you've seen it. It's got the Salt Lake City logo on it. I mean, it looks like $1 million.
Yes.
I bought it with no intentions to snowboard. I just wanted to put it in my room. And then my kids saw it and said, Dad, let's go learn how to snowboard. Fine. Okay, fine. So we took lessons. Well, snowboarding, it's a lot harder to learn how to snowboard. It takes about a week for your brain to get used to it. I mean, you're just falling on your knees and on your butt. That's all you're doing. It's very frustrating. But yes. I went in knowing it's going to take a week, but after the week, it's going to be fine, right? You have to train your brain, right? Kind of like riding a bike. It's not easy at first, but once you learn it, hey, it's just like riding a bike, right? And so that mind thing, whenever you're going into something new, just tell yourself, I got to train my brain. Give yourself time. And if you do, if you do what it takes, people start calling you lucky.
Exactly. We all want to be extremely lucky. Extremely lucky. From the outsider view. I think that's such a huge point. And, you and I, you talk about all the time, like the action thing. You brought that up. Like I took action on the book. You've taken action on multiple books. I've got all your books up here on my.
I got a new one. I got to send it to you.
Over here, I know. I need a new one. I've got one with you and your daughter even up here that you gave me. That.
No, I just got a new one. I'm going to send it to you. And then I'm working on one with my son now. See, and so you have to figure out. You got to be smart and strategic in life. And so my son wants to go to the Air Force Academy, and he's got the grades, and he's a cut above, but it's very competitive.
Yes.
And we got to get letters from congressmen. So he says, okay. And I told him, he got into RC, remote control planes, and that's expensive. And so I said, okay, fine. You see all my personal development books? Look, so I'll show you. I'm sitting in my office. So see, that's just a few of my books, okay? Yep. I mean, I've given away 3 times as many. I told him, look, just read those books, write me a 1-page paper. It doesn't even have to be, I just want the takeaways, okay? It doesn't even have to be full sentences. I just want to know that you'll learn something.
Yes.
And I'll give you $10 for each one. Well, the kid's a speed reader. He killed me. He read about 80 of them, all right? But now we have all these reports, so we're rewriting them and turning it into a book. And since it's launched his business, because now he's teaching other kids how to build and fly RC planes. In fact, if you go to RockyMountainRC.com, check out his website. You'll be super impressed, okay? RockyMountainRC.com. But since it launched his business, now we're writing this book, and it's going to be called The Launch Pad, right? Because it's launching his business. And then who do you think is going to get a copy of each of those books? All the congressmen and all the senators from Colorado, so we can get some decent letters, right? So we're thinking ahead. He's 14, yes. But he's going to the Air Force Academy, right? He's going to be aeronautical engineer.
That's incredible.
So it's
Yeah.
a 4-year plan, just like the Olympics. It doesn't happen overnight.
Exactly. Well, and at the shift, like for all you listening, these are the stories you're going to hear from Ruben, that you start taking action and that consistency comes with it, and you dare to dream and go after that, incredible things can happen. So Ruben, man, I'm fired up to have you at the shift and get you out here in downtown Denver, and
Woo.
appreciate your time. Just spend a few minutes with me today. I truly appreciate it.
Man, we need to do this more often.
Definitely.
I really enjoy hanging out with you, man. You guys, if you are on the fence about coming and see, you will be so glad. Guys, look, I speak mostly for corporations, right? Big corporations. They have, their annual events, sales kickoff, stuff like that. But once in a while, a couple, 3 times a year, I'll speak at an event like this. And most of them are pretty lame, okay? But I've been to Matt's event several years ago, and this is going to be like 10 times better. And so if you're on the fence, this is actually a great investment. You're going to get your money's worth.
Come and join us. Get a picture with I'll have you bring like one of your torches. There you go.
I need to bring my torch. Yeah.
Yeah, love it.
I'll bring one of my torches.
That or the snowboard, one of the two. No kidding, but
okay.
I love it, man. I love it. Well, we'll see you on May 15th and 16th, my friend, and thanks again.
Thanks. Take care, man. Bye-bye.
Bye, buddy. See ya.